Hey, I'm Bill Marion in Cherokee, North Carolina, and this is A Nose for Life.
Cherokee, North Carolina is one of the 5 gateways to the Smoky Mountain National Park and home of the Cherokee Indians. If you've never been to Cherokee, North Carolina, I hope this video will encourage you to visit sometime. Cherokee might be described as a quieter version of Gatlinburg. In fact, even though there are enough similarities between Cherokee and Gatlinburg to make a comparison, the 2 Smoky Mountain towns are different enough to have entirely different vacation experiences visiting one or the other, and even both on the same vacation, which I also encourage. Gatlinburg and Cherokee aren't really in competition, as you can easily visit one location while staying at the other. The 2 popular tourist destinations are connected by a scenic mountain pass 441, which is one of the prettiest drives in the world, and it's absolutely incredible.
Cherokee, North Carolina is about 20 miles from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It takes about an hour to get here most of the time, though, because of traffic. I mean, it's a curvy mountain road. Nevertheless, a lot of people will attach a trip to Cherokee, North Carolina to a Gatlinburg trip. We'll check out the casino and the sights and sounds here in Cherokee, North Carolina.
I have to mention a little about the history of Cherokee, North Carolina. Cherokee, North Carolina is an Indian reservation, and it's home to the eastern band of the Cherokee Nation. Until the early 19th century, the Cherokee Indians called all of this mountain region their home, but then gold was discovered in the region in the early 19th century, and then America's first gold rush was underway. Sadly, the Cherokee Indians were seen as an inconvenience as people rushed to the mountains to find their fortune. President Andrew Jackson signed the Indian Removal Act, evicting over 16,000 Indians forcefully from their homes. The Cherokees were marched to lands west of the Mississippi on what is now known as the Trail of Tears. It was an inexcusable act that killed 4,000 Cherokee Indians. Some Cherokee Indians were able to work against the removal. Some escaped the Trail of Tears and came back to the region, and some Cherokees made the trip back after they were already resettled. Together, this group organized the Eastern Band of the Cherokee Indians. Andrew Jackson is often seen as the supreme villain, and technically he is, and there's no way around it. While it doesn't take away from the despicable decision Jackson made and his betrayal, the story is more complicated than often told by popular history and history books. The history of the Cherokee Indians and their current situation is more complicated than a simple paragraph provided in this video. However, I've provided additional links in the description for information about the Trail of Tears, the Cherokee Indians, the Indian Removal Act, and Andrew Jackson. In the future, I would like to dedicate an entire video to the Trail of Tears. On a better note, today the Eastern Band of the Cherokee Indians are strong and healthy, in part thanks to Harrah's Casino and Resort that provides an economic foundation for the community. I'll talk more about Harrah's Cherokee Casino and Resort later in the video. One of the reasons I wanted to mention the history of Cherokee is to contrast Cherokee, North Carolina with Gatlinburg, Tennessee. 10 million people visit the Smoky Mountains every year. In fact, these days it's more like 11 or even 12 million. But Cherokee doesn't get the same kind of traffic Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge receives. Geography plays a big role in that, but I run into people all the time in Gatlinburg that don't really know what Cherokee is all about. And that's one of the reasons I make these videos. So if you've never been to Cherokee, North Carolina, you'll want to watch all of this video. And if you've been to Cherokee, watch all of this video and make sure I'm not leaving anything out.
So what makes Cherokee, North Carolina different than Gatlinburg, Tennessee? Well, in some ways they're a lot alike. I mean, you are surrounded by the beautiful mountains, the Smoky Mountains to be exact, but you have some other interesting things. You have Cherokee pottery here. I mean, after all, this is home of the Cherokee Reservation. You have Cherokee jewelry here. You have bonfires at night and dances and amazing things where your kids and you can participate with the Cherokees here and learning their customs and their practices, and that is amazing too. So here in Cherokee, there are some things that are just a little different than Gatlinburg. You know, in Gatlinburg, which is one of my favorite places to visit, I mean, how can it not be? I was practically raised in that part of Tennessee. But here's the thing, in Cherokee, even in the middle of tourist season like it is right now, you don't have to fight for a parking place. I mean, you can find a place to park and pretty much hit all the shops that you want to hit within a few hours. I mean, depending on how long it takes you to shop. If it's just my wife, it would take her all day. Just kidding. I'm kidding. Another great thing about Cherokee, North Carolina is that when you get here to the main kind of street, the main drag, if you will, the historic main drag, because there are actually 3 different exits now for Cherokee if you've not been here in several years, kind of like streets that you turn to the right on or to the left, depending on which direction you're coming from, for other sites and attractions. But here on the main drag, the historic main drag, they have a welcome center now, which is really nice because they have nice, clean restrooms. And in fact, a lot of this footage was shot around the welcome center. That's really nice because that's something Gatlinburg may have, but if you've been there 1,000 times, you don't even think about it. A lot of times in Gatlinburg, it's hard to find a parking place and it's hard to find a bathroom. But not so here in Cherokee. It actually is pretty easy to find a parking place, and it's pretty easy easy to find a bathroom, and that's nice. Why can't I think of stuff like that? That's funny, sort of. I mean, if you go to Gatlinburg all the time and you never go to Cherokee, you're really missing out. And to be honest with you, if you've never been to Gatlinburg or Cherokee, you're really, really missing out. So sure, some of it is mountain cheesiness, mountain cotton ball, if you will. No, be mountain corn. Is it corn ball or cotton ball? So sure, some of this is mountain cheese or mountain corn ball, if you will. But that's fun, especially for kids. I mean, kids love this stuff. They eat it up. So you gotta come and check it out.
So we're at the Oconaluftee Island Park, just outside of Cherokee, and this river here looks like a bunch of kids get to wade in the water and enjoy some of the splashing around. There's also a bunch of shelter areas where people have picnics. It looks like it's just a great place to come and enjoy some nature and let your kids run around. It's very cloudy today, so it's not hot. There's a nice breeze blowing, so you could come check it out just outside of Cherokee, Oconaluftee Island Park. And Bill wants to wade in the water. I'm not going to let him. He might fall down. I've seen it almost happen before. Also at the Oconaluftee Island Park, they have Cherokee Summer Bonfire Nights. Up at the top, there's a huge area with benches and seating and a large bonfire pit. Looks like a lot of fun up there. And anytime you come to the mountains, be it Cherokee, Gatlinburg, the different areas around here, you always want to be prepared for rain because you never know.
If it's been a while since you've been to Cherokee, North Carolina, it's probably time to come back. I mean, the place has grown. There's all kinds of new buildings and new businesses and great places to shop, great places to eat. And you know, a great time of year to come to Cherokee is in the fall. So we're already in the middle of summer now here in 2017. And this would be a great place to maybe plan your fall break or your fall vacation, or a great place to go to Thanksgiving or whatever the case is. Now, it's always a few degrees cooler here in the mountains of Appalachia in the summertime. I mean, sometimes at night it can be several degrees cooler than it will be in the valley, but it's still summer and it's very, very hot at Cherokee. I mean, you'll have the storm occasionally that passes through and cools things off, but as soon as the storm clears, the sun's back out, feeding on your noggin, and you're getting a sunburn. So a lot of people, when they visit Cherokee, North Carolina, they go tubing.
Now, if you know of a town in or around the Smoky Mountains that doesn't offer tubing, please put it in the comments, because I'm convinced that you can go tubing everywhere in the Smokies. So it's not that tubing is unique to Cherokee, but if you like tubing and you're in Cherokee, well, you can go tubing and kayaking. This is a great float for small kids, as it's more of a lazy river kind of thing. It's pretty shallow too. In any event, it will help you keep cool in the summer months.
You know, something Carolyn and I have ran into several times here in Cherokee is that they've done a great job at providing public restrooms. That's a big deal. In other city, vacation-y, touristy kind of places, you don't have that. Sometimes you're embarrassed if you have to use the bathroom and you have to go into somebody's business and you're like, do you have public restrooms? And then you're told no like 5 or 6, 7, 10 times. And then you finally find that place that'll let you use the bathroom, but then they look at you funny. I don't know, everybody has their own bathroom experience. But here in Cherokee, North Carolina, they've done a great job at providing tourists with a place to go to the bathroom. And I just want to say, if you're from Cherokee or you have any connection to the Business Bureau here, thank you. I love that. That's all the more reason why we would consider coming back again and again, which we do already. But I'm saying, it's a good reason to consider coming to Cherokee for a vacation, because you know what? There's a lot of shopping, a lot of great food, and there's public restrooms. If you're a subscriber to A Nose for Life, I just want to say welcome back, and I'm so thankful that you subscribe and that you share these videos, like these videos, and that you're a part of the A Nose for Life family. If you're new to A Nose for Life, I just want to say thank you for giving our video content a chance. I hope you'll watch all of our videos and consider subscribing and being a part of our channel. Also, and this is for anybody watching this video, please join our Facebook page at Bill Marion Life. That's Bill Marion Life. And if you know anything about our videos at all, you'll know I love the mountains, and the Appalachian Mountains are very near and dear to my heart. One of the things that I absolutely love about Cherokee is the same thing that I love about Gatlinburg and many, many other places in the mountains, is that, well, you're surrounded by mountains.
So what all is there to do in Cherokee? Well, there's a lot to do. I've already mentioned tubing, shopping, and great food, but there's some great trout fishing too. You can visit the Oconaluftee Visitor Center, Mingo Falls, and you definitely don't want to forget to visit the Museum of the Cherokee Indian. There's also the Oconaluftee Indian Village, and as Carolyn mentioned earlier in this video, the Oconaluftee Island Park. I'll put plenty of links in the description if you're interested in doing some web surfing about Cherokee. The links I'm providing will help you get started on planning your own Cherokee vacation. Oh wait, I guess I forgot. Harrah's Casino and Resort. Okay, funny story. Carolyn and I, by complete accident, booked a room across the street from Harrah's Casino in Cherokee. I've been through Cherokee a few times over the past 20 years, but I haven't really visited Cherokee over the past 20 years. The last time I was in the casino, I bet it was a quarter of the size it is now. It's a pretty impressive casino for the mountains. I'm not saying it's Vegas, but then again, it would be weird if it was like Vegas. Actually, it's a very unique casino. The staff was amazing. They were friendly, helpful, and provided very important information. And honestly, when it comes to customer service, Harrah's Casino in Cherokee gives Vegas a run for its money. Carolyn and I aren't gamblers. I don't think I've ever bought a Powerball ticket. I've never played our state lottery, and I've only sat down at a blackjack table a few times in my entire life. But hey, there was a casino right next door, so Carolyn and I sat down at the blackjack table, and guess what? We won enough money to pay for a very expensive dinner we enjoyed earlier in the evening, and then we ran out of the casino as quickly as possible. But the whole time I was there, I kept thinking of the movie Ocean's 11 and that thing with the guy in the place, and how casinos are fun to watch. But like most things in life, some people take it too far. Gambling is very addicting to some people, and it's a serious issue, and it would be wrong for me not to mention that. But if you don't have a gambling addiction, casinos can be a lot of fun. Here's what I learned to do at a casino from my best friend Nathan a long time ago. Set aside exactly as much as you're going to spend. If you win, set that money aside and keep playing on your original money. Taking your time is important too. Don't be in a hurry. Enjoy the lights and the sounds. Play nickel slots for a while if you have to, just for fun. Once you've spent the money you've set aside, it's time to leave. For some people, that's easier said than done. But Carolyn and I made it out okay. But keep me away from dog tracks. I can't go near them. Totally addicting to me.
So the food here at the casino in Cherokee, North Carolina is pretty good. I mean, there are other restaurants here. There's a Ruth's Chris, and there's some kind of Tuscan restaurant. We didn't have time to actually get on the waiting list to get in those restaurants, so we came to the buffet. You know, when I was a kid and you would go to a casino, let's say in Las Vegas, the food was actually whatever buffet. It was actually pretty inexpensive. I mean, you could get into a buffet that served anything from lobster to sandwiches, and it was pretty inexpensive. Here, as far as the buffet and the price is concerned, it's a little bit of money. I mean, the truth of the matter is we probably could have eaten at one of the other restaurants for the same amount of money that we ate here, give or take maybe $10, $20. But there's a lot of variety. The food is pretty good. It's presented brilliantly. The presentation is marvelous. As far as how good the food is, it's a buffet. What are you gonna do? But I definitely enjoyed it. We've had a great time as far as the food's concerned, but we're not big gamblers. At least I'm not a big gambler. Carolyn hasn't been to a casino in a long time. I'm kind of worried about her. You need to pray for her, folks. I'm just saying. Man, North Carolina loves some solar panels. I mean, everywhere you go in the States, you see solar panels everywhere. It's kind of interesting. Big truck. And this is something else I like, is that when you're walking through the shops, most of the shops are covered. There's an awning, and that's really amazing too, because when it rains, or like today when you could get a storm at any second, but until you get the storm, it's like 118 degrees or something. Okay, it's not 118 degrees, but it's hot. This awning provides a little bit of shelter from the weather. I like that. I'm so glad that you joined Carolyn and I on another mountain adventure, this time to Cherokee, North Carolina. I'm Bill Marion, and this is A Nose for Life. Be sure to check out some of these other videos.